Hi everyone, welcome back. Another playthrough, text adventure playthrough. It just reminded me that I've got this hint book, not for Dinosaur Island, but it's for Adventuron International, like from quite a while back, quite a few years ago. Yeah, and I was just reminding myself some of the adventures. It goes up to adventure 9, 10, 11, so like proper text with a little bit of graphics, adventure type of games. Everyone knows Adventure International, Scott Adams, you know. So yeah, no, I just thought it was quite cool. I might do a video on that actually sometime, just to kind of go through and see see how it's put together. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so we're still stuck on the island. We're still stuck on Dinosaur Island. Adventure on Adventure, written by Richard Pettigrew and adapted or DX'd by Chris Ainsley, who's the author of Adventuron. So yeah, so if I just get the adventure up. So the links are below, just to, if you want to play it, you know, if you want to look at some background, if you want to look at the code. So part part one, we didn't really do a lot. It was more talking about the code and where to get everything. So we'll have a proper bash at this. So yeah, nice 8-bit-esque graphics by Sean McClure. So yeah, basically we've crashed on this weird island, and we've done a couple of puzzles. We've got out of the hot air balloon basket, and well, I think that's about it really. And picked up a couple of things. We found a downed plane as well, a knackered plane that had crashed years ago, but I couldn't work out what to do there. So probably have to head back. So just to give you a flavour of the locations, I'll just head back to the beginning. West. Oh yeah. So this is the crash site. This is the place where we ended up after the balloon had crashed. We managed to get out. I don't think there's anything else there as far as I can see. So we're carrying a metal bar, which we used already, some torn fabric, quartz and clay, and we found about 4 or 5 locations, but no doubt we'll recap on those in a bit. So if we go from the crash site, if we go north, there's a lot of jungle on the island, edge of a very dense and dark jungle. You don't recognise any of the foliage here, it all looks very ancient. There's a lot of, even though it's a couple of sentences for each location, there's a lot of atmosphere. Okay, dark jungle, so we can still carry on going north or to the west. Now the west is where, in the clearing, you can see a plane wreck and a canopy. So just to examine the wreck. We don't find anything new. Okay, so we've already examined it. So basically we found the canopy. We noticed the canopy when we examined the wreck. So if we look at the canopy, it is covered in mildew and has a few cracks in the glass, but it's intact. It might be possible to open it. So if we just do open canopy, you heave and strain, and eventually the canopy gives and slides open. Sadly the pilot didn't survive the crash and his skeleton sits where he died. There's a pilot, skeleton pilot, skeleton. So let's have a look. Yeah, if you play these and you're new to them, then examine everything you can find. So he must have been here for a few years. All that's left of him now are his bones. Judging by the damage to his skull, he sadly didn't survive the rough landing. That's almost you actually then. You almost died when we crashed through the trees into the ground. It looks like his clothing is the only thing keeping him intact. you wonder if it's worth searching him for anything useful. So let's examine. Oh, examine skeleton. I've done that. Okay, so maybe search is a different, classed as a different verb. Sometimes search and examine are the same. You respectfully search the pilot and find a number of potentially useful items. Okay, so there's quite a few we found. Documents, dog tags, leather flying hat, knife, recipe, skeleton, wreck and canopy. So let's get documents, tags, hat. Okay, there's an inventory limit then. Oof, that'll make it more interesting. Means you'll have to juggle some objects around. So I'm going to drop the bar because we've already used that. So I'm kind of hoping and guessing that we don't need to use objects twice. So I'm going to get the hat. Wear the hat. If we examine the hat, very stylish leather flying helmet with integrated goggles. You look very dapper wearing these, as well as keeping your vision clear. Sounds like Biggles. Let's examine documents. Looks like these documents were his mission briefs. You find a variety of information here. His plane was a Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bomber, and he was a member of Flight 19. It looks like he was on a routine patrol flight when he must have crashed. Must have crash landed. Interesting. So maybe whatever took us down took him down as well. So dog tags, hat, fabric, clay, quartz. Okay, so there's a lot of. Now I don't know what we need. I suppose I need to. Oh, actually, there was vines. We found some vines. So if I drop the fabric and get the vines, get the knife, because I'm hoping that we can cut the vines down. Just thinking ahead a bit. Quartz. Recipe is a bit weird. I'll keep the recipe separate. Leave that here. Okay, so I'm happy with that, what we've got. So let's east. We'll just explore a bit more. Dense jungle. North. Dark jungle. Go east and back to the south. We go east. There's a dead tree. So we examine the tree. It would make good firewood. We probably have to smash it or chop it up or something somehow. Chop tree. I've got a knife. Oh, okay, so it's giving you hints in the colour. It means that the axe is an object you can find or make, or some sort of axe. So west, south, south, south again. Crash site. Go east. Oh, here are the vines. So cut vines. Oh, so we found a cave. Okay. What I'm going to do is just I'm going to make this like the main area for the objects that I'm not sure about or that we don't obviously need at the moment. So I'm going to drop documents. Keep the hat on because that looks quite heroic. Knife, maybe we need that again. Drop clay and drop tags. Okay. Do a RAM save. Save it to RAM. What was east? Okay. That's where the cave entrance is. I won't do that yet, I'll get the other objects. So we go back to where we crashed. Okay, so this does incorporate all. Adventuron's pretty good, it's got get all or take all built in, so it'll get every object in that location. You can also, for example, examine fabric, and you can use it, so you drop it, so it makes it a little bit easier when you're typing. Anyway, let's get the fabric. Oh, we haven't looked at the recipe yet. Recipe. It's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a recipe in a text adventure before. So what can we do from here? So a large pot of water. So we need, I mean, if we've got to make the recipe for some reason, maybe to feed somebody something. So we need root vegetables, an egg, large pot of water. Cook the soup in a clay pot until nice and hot. Sounds a bit weird to you, but his mother obviously rates it. She's handwritten a message on it. It reads, "When you need to keep your strength up." That's the pilot's mother. So what I'll do is, I go east, go back to the location there. Ah, so we've got clay, so maybe we have to make the clay pot. Let's just drop the recipe, drop the bar, drop the fabric, the recipe, and cave. If we look at examine the cave, okay, enter cave, that normally will work. Stood in a small dark cave towards the back, you can just make out a set of roughly carved steps really leading downwards. If we go down, oh, an altar. Ancient shrine. You're on an ancient looking shrine, various pictograms line the walls. It looks like there are humans around. This place is clear evidence that humans have visited this long lost world before. Let's have a look. It's a typical rectangular shape. It looks like it is made of solid stone. It is decorated with some incredibly intricate carvings. Let's see if we can, okay. Around the base of the altar you can see some marks in the ground. So that probably indicates it's been moved, maybe. So, no, move altar. You put all your weight behind it and heave as hard as you can. Unfortunately you are not strong enough to move it. Okay, we might need some rollers or something. If we go back east, up, south takes us out. Okay, so we haven't gone south from here yet. East, we've gone east. Foot of a volcano, halfway up a steep volcano. Lava flow. Yeah. Ah, so we can set light to it. Set light to something. Foot of the volcano, so we head back west and then we go south. East Raptory. Okay, that was one of the ingredients, wasn't it? An egg. I don't like the thought of nicking the egg though, because if the raptor's around, I'll leave that there for the moment, do a bit more exploring. South, cliff top, you arrive at this cliff top of a high cliff. You arrive at the top of a high cliff. The view from here is stunning. Oh, you got the volcano. This is a rough looking path that leads down from here into a lush looking valley. Just come, okay, so we've just come from the north, so it's east, west, or down. East. Hillside. We stood on a gently sloping hillside. Oh god. Probably going to die now, aren't I? Dinosaurs running. Large stegosaurus, based on the fact that it's eating the foliage, you think that you're... you think that you're fairly safe. It does, however, have a long and heavy spiked defensive tail. It's using its front legs to claw at the soft ground. There must be something tasty under there. I'm going to get squished on her. Looks like some sort of root vegetable might be grown here. It's obviously a firm favourite with the herbivores based on how they have figured out a way to dig them up. Dig ground. You claw the soft earth with your bare hands and uncover a handful of root vegetables. That was another ingredient as well. I think we're going to have to make some soup. Oh. Get root. That's cool, having a dinosaur that doesn't actually kill you. Sandy beach. Rock. Remind you of an ancient axe head. Maybe we've got to make an axe as well. Gone back to the cliff top, we'll go south. No we won't, we'll go west. Waterfall. Fisher. Okay, got to be careful dropping stuff. So we're in a waterfall. You're stood at the top of a beautiful waterfall. The water flows out of the dense forest from the north and down 2 tiers into the lagoon far below. Let's do a bit more exploring. Down. Oh, we might go down to the lagoon. Foot of the cliff. West. Okay, so we've got a lagoon here. So we're at the bottom of the waterfall. Can we enter lagoon? Swim. Swim water. Into water. Oh cool, so that became an object. Oh. I'm going to keep it just in case it's not a red herring, but I like the sense of humour. If we go east, up, west, east, north, north, west, got the fish. Oh, keep doing that. Drop root, drop the rock, so we've dropped everything now. Just want to examine the recipe again. Spell it right. So there's an egg that we can get. It says the pot is clay, so we've got clay. Root vegetables. I'm going to try and get that egg. If I do a RAM save, let's find the egg now. East. Alright, let's see what happens if I get the egg. Nothing. Raptors fly, don't they? So it's probably spying on me. West. Let's go north. West. Peg. East. So where haven't we been now? South. That's where the fissure is. Off ground. Down. West. Right, the lagoon. I'm sure you must be able to get in the lagoon or... Drink lagoon just to try it. Examine lagoon. Yeah, makes you want to dive in. What? Swim lagoon. Oh, I thought I tried that. Maybe I tried swim. You dive into the lagoon, it's very cool and refreshing. You spot the outline of an underwater cave entrance and swim into it. In a small dark cave behind the waterfall, a shallow pool leads out and back to the lagoon. This is probably one of the safest places on this whole island. There's a spring. Actually saying that, a safe place. I wonder if that's good for all the objects. It's hinting that it's a safe area. You examine the spring, taste it and find that it is gloriously sweet and cool. It must be fed from the waterfall above the cabin. Suppose technically that's might be part of the recipe as well. Water to make the soup. Okay, let's go back. That's interesting. The fish. Swim lagoon. Okay, maybe I don't know. I thought it had made me drop the fish for some reason. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to the game trail. I'm going to get first of all the recipe, the root, egg, clay. Okay, so I'm going to do a RAM save. I think the options we've got are basically focusing on the soup, making the soup for some reason, maybe feed a dinosaur. I'll get the rest of the objects next time. We'll go through what we've got and the options we've got. But yeah, thanks for watching the part 2 of Dinosaur Island DX, Escape from Dinosaur Island DX, and hopefully see you next time. Bye. Need 3 screens, I'll tell you that. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.